I'm live and I'm talking. I got acquainted with, or reacquainted with the past this morning, looking at C-SPAN and seeing some video archives. And the video archives pretty much told me when I looked for what I looked for in stumbling across information about socialism in the United States, I saw a video that pretty much I would say was at the pulse of where I really got motivated with this whole socialism thing. And I started off as a Democrat very early on. I was a Democrat when I graduated high school and voted for Michael Dukakis in 1988, the age of 19, and then and then voted for Bill Clinton in 1992. I was happy with my vote for Dukakis, but sad that he lost. And I voted for Bill Clinton. I was happy that he won, but sad it was Bill Clinton instead of someone else because Bill Clinton was always too conservative. I was a member of the College Democrats at East Carolina University. The majority of these people in the College Democrats were corporate Democrats. New Democrats would be kind of inspired by the Democratic Leadership Council. I mean, they were nice for the most part, but their politics and mind didn't really go too well. And unfortunately, one person in the College Democrats that I worked with became, unfortunately, a very well-known alt-right piece of shit. If you look up the anti-immigration movement, you'll see that piece of low scum individual who is kind of a face on the alt right. And unfortunately, I knew this person. But anyway, and some people will know who I'm talking about. But getting back to what I was saying, the Republican takeover of Congress was a wake-up call that basically warned over liberalism wasn't really doing what it was supposed to do. Liberalism became stale. It became unimaginative. It morphed into the modern-day corporate Democrat, or what they call New Democrats in the 1990s in the United States. Now, the term New Democrat in the United States in the 1990s and the term New Democrat in Canada from 1962, I believe, on to the present means two different things. The term New Democrat in the United States is a shitty term. It means a corporate Democrat, a conservative Democrat, a blue dog Democrat, basically the Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton Democrat. Whereas New Democrat in Canada means you're a social democrat. You were one time with the Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, which was a Democratic Socialist Party, which changed its name to the New Democratic Party of Canada. If I lived in Canada, I'd be a member of the New Democratic Party of Canada. That's out of the way. Well, while I was at East Carolina, at the Joyner Library, I got very fascinated by the Progressive magazine. And in the advertisement section, I saw a couple of ads that struck my eye. And that was for the Socialist magazine, and that was for the Red Pen. The Socialist magazine was the official magazine of the Socialist Party USA at the time, when I was a member, and the Red Pen was the newsletter from the Socialist Party of Pennsylvania. Over the years, I've actually had pretty good relations with the people from the Socialist Party of Pennsylvania. The late Don Buskey, the late Rob Tucker, and I am still friends to this day with Cathy Ann McCloskey, who is an organizer from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, lifelong socialist. Then with the Socialist Party USA, Democratic Socialists of America, Social Democrats USA, and just like myself, envisioning a revitalized Socialist Party of America that existed from 1901 to 1972. We would love to see a Socialist Party of America again, come out and be where we were in the old Eugene Debs, Norman Thomas tradition. Anyway, this C-SPAN video that I found, I just joined the Socialist Party USA in 1996, maybe a few weeks, and I stumbled across this video on C-SPAN. And this video basically motivated me because I was just a paper membership, and because I had a lot of stuff going on in my life. But I heard a speech by the 1996 Socialist Party candidate for president, Mary Cal Hollis. Also somebody I still know to this day, and I consider her a friend. Anyway, with no further ado, this is from the C-SPAN 1996, and you shall see right now. Hold on tight. The video's a little long, but yeah, it is it's important to watch. As I said, I was inspired, very much inspired. Here we go.
7 p.m. Eastern Time on C-SPAN, the political network of record.
Next, Socialist Party presidential candidate Mary Cal Hollis. Saturday, she met with reporters at L'Enfant Park, across from the White House, to discuss her candidacy.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Hammer. I'm a member of the Socialist Party National Committee. Thank you for coming out this afternoon to witness a statement by our presidential candidate, Mary Cal Hollis. We're trying to get ballot access in as many states as possible. We're running our presidential campaign this year on the ticket of Mary Cal Hollis and Eric Chester. Without further ado, introduce the candidate, Mary Cal Hollis.
Good afternoon. In a time of great wealth that's concentrated in the pockets of a few, and a time of hope among a dwindling middle class, in a time of hopelessness and resulting apathy among a groundswell of those who are unemployed, underemployed, or those working several jobs to support a family, there still lingers an idea in the consciousness. To reject it at first thought will return again, to be questioned, to be reasoned. And soon this idea will hit a critical mass, and many people in our country will discover, as I have discovered these last few years, that the foundations, the building blocks of this idea are the foundations of justice, the building block of a true and lasting peace, a personal peace, a societal peace, and eventually a world peace. This idea is not new. It is a grassroots plan that has surfaced time and time again in different forms in societies all over the world. Wherever there are people who think, are people who care about other people, are people who care about their families and their friends and their descendants. While the idea has been hatefully and shamelessly mislabeled by those selfish and greedy people who do not think about what's going on around them and do not care about others, the idea has not died. The idea has grown and will continue to grow. The idea is simply this: why can't we all cooperate with each other? Why can't we make it possible to help everyone to do well, at least to a comfortable level? Why can't we, in a land of extreme wealth among a very few people, provide food for all of the hungry children? Why can't we help those who have by fate been dealt a hand of pain, suffering, and illness through health care? Why can't we provide education to make all of our neighbors as educated as they want to be? Why can't we work to provide jobs for all of those who want to work? I'm not speaking of Christianity. Many people do at this time, although many Christians realize that our ideals are closest to the platform, the closest political platform to the mercy that Jesus Christ preached. The idea is called socialism, a democratic socialism. And don't be shocked to find someone, such a gentle spirit as myself, daring to say the S word. What I am is an educator. I am a school teacher. I'm here to teach that socialism has been adulterated. In a history recent enough that some of you listening can remember, fascist dictators have called their government socialists. Socialists have gotten into power to be co-opted by communists, and socialists have fought for power and become dictators when they got into office. In the U.S., people have perpetuated the idea that socialism and communism are the same. I'm here today to ask you to consider the idea that our government has degenerated into a worst-case scenario for capitalism. We've become a de facto plutocracy, government of the people, by the wealthy, for corporate welfare. Each decision made can be crudely divided into pro-rich or anti-rich categories. Health care, the rich, the corporate-minded, don't care about providing health except to the workers who are actively contributing to their wealth. Education, the rich don't care, they send their kids to private schools. Environment, corporations don't want to pay to clean up their messes, it will only cut the shareholders' profits. Recreation, the rich can afford better. Welfare, they don't care. I'm currently reading Upton Sinclair's book, The Jungle. It's encouraging to see the progress that our society has made this century. But it shows that the rich and powerful will do anything to get what they want. A fine current day example of this is the Republicans' recent custom to throw anti-abortion legislation into defense contracts instead of openly debating the issues. That is deceptive. It is a form of lying. And current politicians seem to have no ethical problems with this. How do we fight a de facto plutocracy? The only way to fight it is through democracy. We need to organize people's votes, because what we have here is a good old-fashioned class struggle. We, as the Socialist Party of the United States, 95 years old, have traditionally brought up socialist ideas that were eventually accepted as good ideas and co-opted by the Democratic Party, including Social Security and the 8-hour workday. Still, we are here through the hard times, now beginning to grow again, and back to present some new ideas. First of all, cut corporate welfare, including $110 million to the Market Promotion Program in fiscal year 96 to fund overseas advertising. Cut the environmental compromises that ease rules for savage logging on federal lands. Cut subsidies to sugar farmers and certainly to tobacco farmers. Cut corporate welfare in the Department of Defense. Institute the maximum wage with no one making more than 10 times the minimum wage. Tie corporate funding to the salaries of women and the number of women in executive positions. Tie foreign aid to the treatment of women. Deny tax cuts for the wealthy. I'm here to tell you today that democratic socialism is not an oxymoron. We can institute a trickle-up theory. It's not too late to make a difference if we work together, but it's time for us to start saying the S word. Thank you very much. Socialism can still work. Questions? We are on the ballot. So far, we're on the primary ballot in California on the Peace and Freedom label. We are on the ballot in Vermont on the Liberty Union label. And I'm most pleased to recent announcement, we are on the ballot in New Mexico, Green Party ticket. And I'm very proud of that. Thank you for your support.
What kind of press coverage have you gotten, and what's your opinion of how the press handles third-party candidates?
We've gotten very little press coverage from media. I have been thoroughly amazed by people from around the country who are working on their own to put together newsletters to cover independents and third parties. There is still quite a bit of grassroots democracy out there. People are concerned. I am a school teacher. I cannot take time off work. It's kind of true with the Socialist Party. We don't have a lot of financially independent people who can do that. In the summer, I will be traveling more, and I believe that we will get a little more coverage there, but we're not counting on a whole lot.
And how difficult is it to get ballot? How many places do you expect to be on the ballot for the November election?
Ballot access is a problem, and that's actually one of the reasons why we're running a candidate when we know that we can't win. We really want to bring the issues to the left, and we want people to know that democratic socialism is not an oxymoron, and we want to fight ballot access because that is at the base, just at the bottom level of democracy. You need to be able to get on the ballot. We anticipate we'll be on the ballot in maybe 20 states. There are still 5 states that can't even do write-ins for President of the United States. Right now we're on 3. We're working currently on about 8 others, and we may actually turn to lawsuits to get on the ballot. And even if we won't get on the ballot in this time, we may at a later date. But that is definitely one of the battles we're ready to fight.
Can I ask you a question? I'm a local newsletter for the Socialist Party in Maryland. How you doing, Richard Cook? Out in Oregon, did you campaign with Vicki Valdez? I hear she got 8,000 votes in Oregon. Did you campaign with her?
Again, I wasn't able to campaign with her, but we have supported Vicki Valdez, and we certainly do.
And you're on the ballot in New Mexico. Now, did Ralph Nader also get on the ballot in New Mexico for the Green Party or not?
Ralph Nader, Bill Clinton, and myself were nominated by the New Mexico Green Party. As I understand it, neither Clinton nor Nader responded, which left me on the ballot.
So you scared them away, is what you're
I
saying.
scared them away. I think they're afraid of the competition. Yes.
Can you leave us with your feelings regarding a Nader candidacy?
I think that people in the Socialist Party would really like for me to feel more negative than I do about the Nader campaign. I feel if I could guess what Nader was thinking, he would also want to bring the issues to the left, and I support Nader, and I have supported Nader ever since I've known of Nader and seen him speak. I wonder what he's doing as well as everyone else, and I think that he is concerned about splitting the vote for Clinton. It's the thing we deal with all the time. If you really vote your heart, are you going to split the vote and let the Republicans get in? And which is worse? And it's a hard one for everyone, and certainly a hard one for our party is the spoiler issue.
Do you feel there's a lot of people out there that in the Democratic Party now that see that they don't really have a choice now, that they're stuck basically with Clinton, and that's, I mean, given the fact that he basically voted against, supported NAFTA and went against labor and has really abandoned a lot of the Democratic Party, do you anticipate getting more Democrats to support you?
I imagine politically Democrats are going to pretty well stick with Clinton right now. Leftists in the Democratic Party, I'm sure, feel like they have been abandoned by Clinton. But they know it's their only choice. We may pull a few votes from this. Democrats, I'm sure, leftist Democrats, I'm sure debate this all the time in their heads to stay with the Democratic Party or try the spoiler. I predict that Clinton will be reelected. And I think the Democrats are behind him because they're the only choice, and a lot of other people who are not Democrats are way too scared of the alternatives if Mr. Smiley were elected.
Mary Cal, will you respond to this question? We did campaigning in the state of Wisconsin for national office for Congress for socialists, and we found a lot of voter dissatisfaction out there in 1994. And I wonder if you've run into some of that so far this year. If you feel as though people are going to want to change badly enough. You just said you don't think Democrats will do that. Are there others who perhaps are not at this point committed and who might be looking for an alternative?
Ma'am, would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Nan Fairfield. I'm the chair of the Socialist Party in Wisconsin.
Actually, the Socialist Network on the World Wide Web has been getting a lot of attention. We have been gaining members every month, a very steady gain in membership. Coverage from the independent third parties groups has been giving us quite a bit of attention. Independent third parties are gaining a lot of attention. It is obvious that there are a lot of people out there who are very concerned and also very scared. and it's hard to say at this point, for the election, because there is that fear of exactly what is the worst case scenario. But I do see a movement that's not going to stop here. I think we are going to see more third parties, and hopefully the idea of a proportional representation will take off, and third parties can begin to work their way into what we have here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That brings me back a lot of memories, by the way. It really brings me back a lot of memories. I was in my 20s back then. Had black hair back then. I was very young. I'm nowhere to be seen because I was in North Carolina at that time. I happened to run across that on C-SPAN that evening, and I was very impressed. And that really was the linchpin for me that really decided to make socialism a serious political quest in my life. So, and it was kind of actually nice seeing some people that I've actually known there. As I said, I know Mary Cal Hollis, and she lives in Boulder, Colorado. She has a daughter. She was a Socialist Party candidate right there in 1996, and she was the vice presidential candidate in the year 2000. And this was 1996, where Bill Clinton, when he campaigned even further right than he did in 1992, and it was just a mantra of the Democratic Party to go and campaign further right, and then they either did not take Ralph Nader seriously, or they were like criticizing Ralph Nader. You're going to go and split the vote. Well, Ralph Nader and even Mary Cal Hollis would have probably not be running for president that year had Bill Clinton decided to govern and campaign more like Franklin Roosevelt, and not like a younger Ronald Reagan who's socially moderate. And that's really what happened. Chris Hedges in recent years said that Margaret Thatcher gave Great Britain Tony Blair. Ronald Reagan in the United States gave America Bill Clinton. And, being what the case is, she mentioned the World Wide Web. A little historical trivia for you all listening. The Socialist Party USA website, it was called the Socialist Party Cyber Center, was the very first political party to be on the World Wide Web in the history of the internet. And it was where it came from. Instead of a URL that was proper at that time, some www dot whatever.org or what have you. It was like scrambled. The domain name would be like www.sunshine.x43/489. It would be something really crazy like that. But that came out of UNC Chapel Hill too, by the way. And so just a little bit of a historical nugget for y'all. Mary Cal Hollis. We worked to get Mary Cal Hollis on the ballot as a write-in because back then it was 50,000 signatures to get a political party on the ballot, and we just did, 7 people were not going to get 50,000 signatures. So we tried to do a write-in, and it requires 500 signatures. We weren't able to get Mary Cal Hollis on the ballot that year, and so all of us from the Socialist Party, we got together and we founded a little organization, statewide organization, and we endorsed Ralph Nader that year, obviously. But anyway, after the election, the Socialist Party of North Carolina was officially established and chartered, and we were a serious activist organization for many years. And things happen, and so a lot of us kind of have kept in touch more or less over the years. Now, Bernie Sanders running in 2016 and 2020 pretty much really also encouraged me to be more involved. And I work graveyard shift and everything. I'm on vacation this week, but here, what I'm doing right now is my way to channel my activism, and I'm trying to reach out to people. So, and here's a positive plug. We need more socialist parties in the United States. We need to do this, and or socialist organizations. We need that movement, and I am encouraging people here locally in North Carolina. If you want to go and start a statewide socialist organization here, go ahead. Let's talk, because the Green Party was able to get on the ballot last year in North Carolina. And I was a registered Green for a while, and they're trying to get on the ballot again. And just do what you can. I may put down a link for the Green Party, so the Green Party in North Carolina, so you can go ahead and help the Green Party get on the ballot this year for North Carolina. So anyway, I'm wanting everybody that's within geographically in this area, they want to go and start a socialist organization, do so, and those outside of North Carolina do the same, because the more of us that are out there and the more of us making a lot of noise, they're going to have to listen to us. They don't take us seriously, or they don't take us seriously when they're in power, but when they lose elections, they blame us, and instead of being a cuck and acting like, oh, I'm sorry, y'all lost the election, you need to tell these corporate Democrats, fuck you, motherfuckers, step aside, we're taking over. And as I said, it needs to be done. And whatever, let 1,000 flowers bloom as far as whatever tactics you want to use. If you want to work inside the Democratic Party, I guess you can. If you want to work outside the Democratic Party and do independent politics exclusively, go ahead and do that. And if you want to sort of kind of be a part-time Democrat, part-time independent, and that works for you, you do you. So that's the way I see things. So as far as tactics are concerned and everything, let 1,000 flowers bloom, as the saying goes. And anyway, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, comment anyway. We will have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are the muckrakers of our time. And be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you're kept up to date with hard-hitting commentary by yours truly. I am American Social Democracy, Peace, and class struggle now. Socialism in our time.